So welcome back to my channel. So you probably know about the MicroTask and macrotask in JavaScript, and we should talk about async and synchronous code and MicroTask and macrotask in this video. So I have a very simple console log, and we know that's sync code, and then keep writing some async code using set timeout and just print out a simple value console.log async, and this is a macrotask. It's gonna push in a macrotask here. So you might see synchronous code run first and then asynchronous code after that. So what if I write some asynchronous code using promise? So let's write promise. I write promise resolve. I'm using some static method instead of using object like new promise. You can do that. So because this is a async and macrotask, so I just write some macrotask for use, because you can see what's different, right? So we'll keep print out. Okay, you will see the order is a little bit different from you might think. Even though we passed 0 second here, it still run after MicroTask. Okay, so what if we use queue, the built-in function in JavaScript, and we passed code back here. So let's try some simple stuff like this. I keep adding asynchronous macrotask, but this one I want to write using queue macrotask. So you see the order of queue macrotask depending and the promise depending on the order of the code. So if we swap the order of queue macrotask and promise, you will see there has been changed the order. So as usual, sync run first, and then microtask, and then macrotask. So as we see here. Okay, now I have a very simple code, and we want to analyze them a little bit. So we have ABC function, and it returns the first one is sync code, and the next one is async microtask, and the last one inside this function is sync code, but this one is running after a wait, so it could be a challenging if you remove a wait here. The order of the code will be a little bit different. You will see that right now. So probably we got sync code first, because so we got 1 first, and then the sync code, the second one is 7, right? Yes, 7. So 1, then 7. Let's take a look on the async macrotask. So we got macrotask at the end, so just write 4 here. And then let's take a look on the order of macrotask. So the macrotask run first is 2, right? And then we got the second one is 5. Okay, let's see. 1, 7, right? And 2. Okay, 2. And then 5. Because now they are on a microtask queue. So 5. And after that, we got 6, because it's still on a microtask queue. And then after that, we got 3. So you see the order is as usual. Async run last, and we have async macro and async macro. So 1 is synco, 7 is synco, so 2 is async. So you probably wonder why we don't get 3 after 7, because this is synco. No, we see that is we have a wait function here, and this one return a promise, and then everything is stopped there. So what if I remove the keyword await here? We got 1, 3. So we got synco first, synco second, synco third, okay? And then we got 1, 3, this one synco without waiting. So that is the way we understand synco and asynco mixing in one async function. Now, if I keep add a wait inside, so let's see again. We got 1, we got 7 because this is synco, right? And then we got 2, and then we got 5 because it's still on the MicroTask skill, and then we got 6, and after that we got 3. So it is said that if you put the synco after a wait, is to become the asynco with .then, and then that's why we got we still got 3 before the macrotask here is 4. 3 before 4, because this is become, if you write something like this, it's become async code and async microtask. Yeah, but it still run after the current microtask is waiting. That's why we got 3 after 5. Okay, so if we remove away here, it's become the synco, and it just run in the synco its normal way. So that's why we got 1, 3. 1, 3 because this is a synco, but if we have a wait here, it's become async microtask. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.